Hey, what's happening, y'all? Happy Friday. It's your boy Doc Garcia. And talk about the feminist agenda in movies. Um, Look, man, this has been a bad year about this. So it's time for me to goddamn speak up about it. All right, first off, we started off the year with probably one of the most cringe-worthy movies that I ever fucking seen in my life. And that's the Captain Marvel movie. Um, Look, I like hero movies just like anybody else, man. But this Captain Marvel shit was probably some of the worst, most. It was some of the worst shit I ever seen in my life. I tried to give it a chance by watching it, but all throughout the Captain Marvel movie, they're throwing all of these bullshit feminist ideologies in the movie. Like, well, no man can tell you what to do. And then, of course, they had the male pilot that was sexually harassing, Brie Larson, the female pilot, acting as if all men are out here sexually harassing women, when that's simply not the case. Um, they told that little girl that, oh, no man can tell you how to be or what to be when you grow up. And then, then you see all this shit with these two female pilots, and they're supposed to be like these Top Gun pilots that's like flying combat missions and kicking ass. And like I said, I've been in the military for real, and that's not reality. You don't see a whole bunch of fucking females that are pilots that are doing that shit. So Captain Marvel was bullshit. That was one of the most feminist bullshit movies I ever seen. So fuck that. Then I've looked at the news today and I found out that James Bond is being replaced with a black woman. For y'all who didn't fucking hear me when I said that, James Bond, James fucking Bond is being replaced by a black woman. Look, man, when you think about James Bond, you think about a few things. You think about awesome cars. You think about, fucking a whole bunch of swagger. You think about fucking nice tailor-made suits and shit. And you think about kicking ass. And you think about the motherfucker that kicks ass and he's suave while he doing it, man. He pulls a lot of fine ass chicks. When you think of James Bond, that's what you think of. And historically, throughout time, that's who James Bond has been. And now they're changing James Bond into a black woman. Look, I can understand if they chose a black man to play James Bond, a motherfucker maybe like Idris Elba. Because Idris Elba, he's a smooth brother. He got the English accent and shit, and he can pull off playing James Bond, and at least he's still a man. But they got a black woman to play James Bond. Man, that's gonna flop hard as fuck in the movie theaters. I'm sorry, I ain't watching no black female James Bond. That's some dumb shit. Whoever made that casting decision is probably part of the Me Too movement. That's some feminist agenda shit if I ain't ever seen it. My thing is, look, man, if you're gonna be a woman making a kick-ass movie, make a movie that's original. Like, let me give you a couple examples. The Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis. That was kick-ass. I was feeling that shit. Motherfucking Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. That shit was kick-ass. It was original. Salt with Angelina Jolie. That was kick-ass, and that was original. Don't take some shit that men have already done and then try to put a female spin on it. Historically, that shit hasn't worked. You don't believe me? Look at that movie Ocean's 8. It's supposed to be the female version of Ocean's 11. Now, I'm going to put it like this, man. I'm a fan of Ocean's 11, because it's a kick-ass franchise. But you got Ocean's 8, which is, it's probably the worst revision of Ocean's 11 that I ever seen in my life. Man, it's basically the bootleg version of Ocean's 11, except you got 8 bitches doing a fucking job as thieves. It's probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. So with the whole thing with Ocean's 8, with the female Ocean's 11, it was based around stealing some diamonds to get back at this girl's ex-boyfriend. The shit was stupid. So basically, they were shitting on this dude, her ex-boyfriend. Like all the girls from Ocean's 8 was shitting on Sandra Bullock's ex-boyfriend, talking about he ain't shit and all of that, and that's what he get. Ocean's 8 was garbage. And they shouldn't have even made that shit, to be honest. And Ocean's 11, there was no female bashing. In Ocean's 11, there was no female bashing, but you look in Ocean's 8, it was male bashing all day. And it was generic as fuck, man. I'm never watched that shit, man. And what else? Ghostbusters. The female version of Ghostbusters will never equal up to the male version of Ghostbusters. Stop trying to take shit that men have already done and trying to fucking make that shit feminine. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. On top of that, you got these Tyler Perry movies. All right, for y'all who don't know, Tyler Perry is a black male film producer. And he comes out with all of these motherfucking films that bash men. Like, for example, all these Madea movies. Madea Goes to Prison, Madea's Christmas, Madea's Funeral. Is basically the same story every time you see a Tyler Perry movie. It's basically a black woman going through a whole bunch of drama with a dark-skinned black dude. And the dark-skinned black dude is abusing her. And then she's praying to God, talking about oh, God, please give me a good man. And then some light-skinned Boris Kojo, Shamar Moore looking motherfucker comes to the rescue and fucking plays Captain Save-A-Ho to this bitch. That's the basic plot line of every single Tyler Perry movie that's ever come out. And it's basically saying that that's a fucking movie that's following the feminist agenda, saying that there are no good black men. And then you got, let's even extend it to the cartoon movies like Mulan. Mulan is, y'all know the story of Mulan. It's a female in Asia trying to join the all-male military. And it's basically showing a fucking visual picture of a whole bunch of dumb, caveman acting motherfuckers as male soldiers that just talk down on women and just degrade women. You even got that shit in the cartoons, man. It's fucking ridiculous, man. All I gotta say about these females in these feminist agenda movies, man, come up with your own ideals, and you don't have to bash men. Let me state that again. You don't have to bash one gender to uplift another gender. Just make your own movies, make your own ideals, and get off our fucking dick. Because hell, we're not trying to goddamn be part of the patriarchy and all that bullshit. I mean, just stop with all that shit, man. That's all I got to say. Peace.